All right, we are here at SpaceX at the Rocket Garden. It's a beautiful Monday morning. Just getting up on 8:28 in the morning. 8:28 a.m. Wherever you are, I wish you welcome. There is a lot of white cones along the road, and I was speculating, well, what could it be? Could it be the booster that they're going to move today? Could it be the Starship in the high bay, in the mega bay? Not the mega bay. Yes, the high bay, and then the booster is in the mega bay. The Starship is in the high bay. What could it be? I'm not sure what it could be. They are currently over here at the Rocket Garden moving out the SPMT. It looks like a ultra wide SPMT. It's going to be right in front of us, it looks like. I might have to move the camera eventually. But I do have some speculation that maybe they may be looking at moving the, possibly the can crusher. Hey, good morning, Carl. Hey. Bren, nice to see you. But whatever the thing is, whatever happens here, it will be at least a little bit interesting while I'm shooting this segment of it. We shall see. There are a lot of white cones going from the build site all the way to the launch site. So it looks like they are going to be moving something. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to move or if they're going to be able to maneuver this out of the way, but we shall see. Spread the word, let people know the activity has started here at SpaceX. Let me move the camera just because I can. I'm going to move the camera here. I'm sure this gentleman will appreciate it. There is a car behind me, so even if I did move out of the way, he still wouldn't get any benefit. So I'm in a good spot. I'm not blocking anything. There is a car behind me, so he's going to have to maneuver around that car. So we shall see what happens here. This may be going back behind the wall here and getting the can crusher. I suspect that might be what they're going to be moving today instead of the booster, instead of the Starship. They may just be moving the can crusher, and I'll show you why in a little bit, and I'll show you why I walked down this way. MBB, good afternoon from Germany, Mr. MBB. I'm going to zoom out here. I'm going to tilt it up a little bit, and then surprise, surprise, good morning. Welcome to the show. It looks like they might be moving over here to the can crusher, and that's what's going on. I took some photos a few days ago of the can crusher, and yesterday they put a pipe at the very top. I'll show you that in a moment, but let's see what happens. Hey, Tony. Good stuff. Ocean Camera Space Corp, everybody. Here we go. I'll show you what's happening here. There is a pipe there at the very top of the can crusher. See that on the very top? It looks like they might be moving this all the way down to the launch site. Yep, MBB. We are super close here. Sorry for the rapid shift in the location for the camera there. Yeah, they are taking this behind the wall. I walked down this way to see if there were any SPMT next to the can crusher because I saw that the pipe had been up. Looks like they put, so they're gonna do a cryo test on this. This is pretty much confirmed. They are gonna do a cryo test on this can crusher, and they're gonna take it down to the launch site. That's what's going on. So you can probably scrap. Maybe they'll take the booster, maybe they'll take the Starship, but it is a can crusher that they're going to be taking down. Can crusher. It's amazing how they can maneuver something so long behind this wall here. There is a good chance that they will back up, that they will come back in this direction. I just realized this, because there really is no way for them to get out, to bring that can crusher out from behind the wall over there. Not necessarily, unless they bring it up and around the far side. If they were to go away from us in the direction of the camera, there is an exit on a way far side out there beyond the Starbase sign, but they may just back it up and bring it back the way that thing just went in. So we may see this thing come in front of us once more. Yeah, back up the camera here. Well, I'll leave the camera here just in case they don't back up, but it looks like they might be going to be backing up. So it's going to be a little bit of a static shot here. I could run down to the left here and get a different shot so we can see underneath. I could run over there on our side of the road. I had that shot before, but there weren't any openings along the road over there, so whatever. This is the filler chime. There is a gentleman up there on top. I guess I can do some close-up shots. We'll get some close-up shots there. I guess checking to make everything inside is good for the trip. Onsiu, Adrian from Romania. Good morning. Carl, good morning. Yep, it was a good coincidence here. I looked at the launch site and I saw, they have the crane by the side of the road, and the large SpaceX crane, which they disconnected from the Starship this morning. I was asleep. Looks like maybe they'll be connecting it to the top of this when it arrives, and they'll lift it off the test platform and put it on the ground while they test it. I forgot, do they keep the can crusher on the test stand when they test it, or do they lift it off and place it on the ground? Does anyone, do you know that answer? Because the crane is right over there by the entrance to the main gate at the launch site. Yeah, it stays on it. Okay, Carl says it stays on it. What would they need the crane for then over there at the launch site? Could they be moving the Starship as well, or the new one, or could they be moving the booster? Or maybe they were just getting the crane out of the way. I don't know, but they did move the crane to the side there. I think I know the answer. So let me move the camera here. I know what the crane is for. You will see, or you already suspect, and you will know in a second what the crane is for. Let me see if you can guess what the crane is for. Hey, morning. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Yeah, they have two SPMTs here. I just remembered this SPMT was over here. I just remember the top was over here, and that is the answer why the crane is down there by the launch site. I'm gonna have to get onto this camera here. I'm gonna have to get onto camera. Okay. We're going to pump you up. We're going to pump you up. We're gonna pump you up, guys. Guess what? I gotta do these skits every now and then. Keep it alive. That is the top of the test stand. Sorry if I got too loud there. Superman, you gotta take out the Superman every now and then. All right, that is the top of the test stand for the can crusher. And it's on an SPMT, so they are going to wheel that down as well. And they're going to use a crane to lift this top over here. They're going to take the top over here and lift it up onto the can crusher over there. That's what's going to happen. All right. So we might be able to put away the speculation that they'll be rolling down a Starship or a booster today. But there's still an option for that. But yeah, this is I think I may have burst a few bubbles there, but we shall see. You know, what I can tell you also is, let me zoom out. I want to welcome a lot of the younger crowd to the scene here. In the last week, I've managed to increase my female viewership by an extra 5%. So we're at 7% for the month for female viewers of the Ocean Cam channel. 7%, that's an all-time record here. It's usually been 1.5 to 2.5% over the last 2 years. So, and then also, welcome to the mid 35-year-olds. They just got a higher percentage viewership than the 45 and so year olds. So it's pretty freaking amazing. First time ever. It's always been the younger crowd all the way up to the most wise of us. It's always been lower percentage all the way up to the higher percentage viewership from the older, more wise people. So we are looking at a dramatic shift here, and I would attribute this to Phidias and his types of I took a course by Phidias on how to make better videos. So thank you, Phidias. Check out this stream here. This video here, long form video, is not really following along with the Phidias method, but it does have some elements of it. All right, it may be a while before they roll this thing down. I will, I'll move the camera. We will move the camera, and we'll get a different shot. We come back in this direction if they start moving something, but I'll get a shot from a little bit further up the road, and we can see underneath from over there, from over here, looking that way, and we'll be able to see how they're doing positioning the SPMT under the can crusher. Other than that, it's a beautiful, it is a nice, fresh Monday morning. If you're at work, welcome. This is the rocket garden here with the different, this over here is the booster 8, I believe, and the one to the right of it's booster 4, and this is Starship 15, and the other two I can't vouch for. I don't know what they are. Yep, this is where the rockets come to wait for further instructions. Also called the rocket garden by some of us. Rocket heaven, maybe. This is rocket heaven. Here we go. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna move everything. Here we go. It's gonna be a couple minutes. John says, oh, 16 and 20, you think? Okay, so then this would be Starship 16 maybe here, possibly, and this is maybe Starship 20 is possibly the thought. When there was a Starship here which was 16, I don't know if that's still it, but, and then they removed a Starship, I think demolitioned it and brought in, okay, Derek says yes, 16 and 20, because they removed one and then replaced it with something else. And after they did that, I didn't really pay attention to the numbers. So one of these is not what it should be, or what it was. One of these two is not what it was. So, all right, we shall come this way. So we're gonna walk about right over here, or maybe Rocket Road, or a little closer. We'll get that shot. Over here on the left is it's the Mega Bay. It's bigger and wider than the one on the right, the High Bay. And the booster is currently in this one, the new booster, and the new Starship's over there. This is where Some of the new employees come in, they get to stay in one of these RVs for a week or two if they decide not to just immediately rent a house or something like that. You can see they all have Starlinks on them, so that's pretty interesting. I didn't see that before. And they started putting a lot of these palm trees in everywhere, so that's kind of nice. Alan. They've been doing a lot of landscaping around here. Let me keep going. All right, they're checking out the top there. Let's keep moving. There was some people yesterday working on this area here, making it a little bit nicer as far as the landscape, etc. You can see a little bit through the wall, but we'll get a much better shot a little bit further down. I'll just do a quick shot here. So they're moving pretty rapidly, it looks like, but we'll get the shot. Got to stay focused, don't want to get sidetracked to different things. Sorry. Okay, it looks like here they go. Moving it in underneath it. Thanks, Bama. Much appreciated, Bama. Here we go. That's a good shot. All right, I'll check some of the chat here. Let's see. Bama James, everybody. Paul, you do the best videos on YouTube. Thanks. That's a tall order, but I appreciate it. I was thinking about the crowd here, the people at Ocean Camp. You know, every YouTuber brings or attempts to bring the crowd to the people, the various viewers to a different place. So I'm definitely top notch there as far as where I'm attempting to bring some of you that would like to go. So appreciate it. So that is true, Bama, as far as that is concerned. Derek says, I think the top of the Mega Bay will be where the operations of the orbital flight will be, like the control center in Houston. That sounds pretty interesting. Top of the Mega Bay, like a Houston control center, huh? Interesting. That's a good thought there, Dajane. Yeah, it's a nice place to take a walk. Yep, Alan. All right, I'll zoom out a little bit. Well, maybe zoom in and then zoom out. Here we go. Kent, good morning. Yeah, good stuff. We do have the best shot of this on the whole planet right now, so this is definitely the best shot of the best. That's right, Carl. That is right. That's why it's the best. Cool, John. Yeah, it is a beautiful shot there. Yeah. for beauty's sake, I will get in the shot here as well. See if this is a little bit better screensaver there. Gotta make a angry face. Okay. Yeah, it's a pretty cool shot here. Pretty cool shot. If they're gonna roll this down this road in front of us, AL, awesome, thanks. Just subbed. Yeah, I'm getting what I'd like to see, that's true, Carl. Yeah, I've been filming and videoing what I like to do and not so much what everybody would like to see. Yeah, that's true. There's a bunch of stuff here on the left as well. I will get a shot of that as well here. Just real quick, we got a bunch of all types of tools and machinery right over here on the left. Thanks, Bama. So we're looking to see when the SPMT, when that vehicle raises up and lifts up the can crusher there. All right, they're moving this lift out of the way. It's a blue lift. More. Hey.
Are you like a streamer?
Yeah.
Oh, for which channel?
Ocean Camera Space.
Nice.
14,000 people. All right. 2 SpaceX people just said hello. That's nice. Let's see. Yes, that is the moon over there, Bama, next to the. I'll get that shot. Yeah, no mosquitoes. Well, I'm wearing a jacket over by to the north. There is there are mosquitoes out there by the north, but that is true. That is the moon by the top of the booster 8, booster 4 over there. Yep. Okay. I'll leave it out. I'll leave it zoomed out until we see some movement, and then possibly I'll zoom back in. But yeah, I'll keep the shot of the moon in there. There we go. Ocean camera. So it's 9. If there's anything anyone would like to talk about, go ahead. You can bring it up. I'd be happy to chat on camera about pretty much a lot of different things. Kind of the ultimate shot right there. Yeah, Alan. Yeah, if you're just tuning in, it looks like they're going to move the, I'll put it in the center of the screen. Well, this they're going to move this thing here, the can crusher, and they're doing the preparation right now to lift it up. To the very bottom right is a couple, on the way far right corner here is a couple vehicles, and they may be trying to find the people who possibly own those vehicles to ask them if they would move them. If not, then I don't know, but it's going to be a tight squeeze if they were going to take it out through here and roll it up the road. All right, that was a 3 or so beep thing. They just beeped the horn a few times. That may be, oh, they're gonna move the genie thing. Thanks, Roki. ALS, what's your personal view? When will be the first launch? How's your new banana tree? Alan, the banana tree is doing great. I'll get back to that in a little bit. Do you think they will find enough water on the moon to live there? Bama, that's a great question too. So as far as the launch, they have to do the 32 engine static fire, and at least a couple months, I would suspect, before launch, maybe February, March or so. Let's see, so as far as the Dear Moon crew launching on, it's going to be several years probably before that happens. I'd like to see it launch ASAP, as soon as possible, like you. Roki is from Bangladesh. Awesome. They're going back up with this thing. I guess they're going to check something out again or something. Take care, guys. Nice to see you. Ocean Camera Space.
Huh?
Just telling you the channel name again.
Okay.
Ocean Cam. I told the guy the channel name again. They're playing some music in the background. Can you hear that music in the background? If you can, then that's just the way it is. But there is some music playing back there. What I learned about with music in the background with copyrights, it's no biggie. They just they demonetize the stream, but it doesn't affect your ability to stream or to take a video. So I'm more relaxed now than I used to be as far as when there's music which could be copyrighted. The Artemis landed yesterday, the rocket which went around the moon, so that's kind of cool. Splashed down on the west coast there. Today's date is the 12th of December, 2022. Thanks, Rocky. No kib, Rocky, no kib, everybody. Rocky. I get a shot of the top there too. Just let me tilt up and get that shot. Sir Chris, good morning. Yep. While the lift is up there, they're not going to move it until they get the lift down, so it's okay to zoom in on the top there. I did a video a couple days ago on taking a picture of the berm. Down by the launch site, there's something called they're building a new divider between the orbital tank farm and the orbital launch platform. So I got a few shots of that. I made a little dramatic video as well. You might check it out in the last week. I put that out. That was the new format of showing some of the personal side of taking some of the photos and stuff. I think it's called Challenged to, right now it's called, the title is Challenged to something the berm. I think shoot the berm or something, photograph the berm. Let me tilt down and get the shot here of what they're doing. The longer we stay here, the more apt another photographer is going to come here. So, yep, this is where it's happening this morning, people. Come on down, check it out. At the moment, I'm spending Christmas here at SpaceX. I own some property down the road, so I'm not looking to necessarily go anywhere. If there's some amazing opportunity that opens up somewhere, I will go, but I'm going to be filming, shooting through the end of the year, probably. That's the way it looks right now. Yep, back at you. Thanks, man. Let me, I'll do a close-up and just go down the outside of this structure here. So this is a test tank. They're gonna do a cryo test on it, most likely. A burst test as well as a cryo test. Looks like they have 2 lifts up there right now. A second one just went up there. Want to get the outside of this thing too. I got some close-ups of this as well in the last week, so there's more shots of this in a higher resolution in the last 5 days. I think I uploaded a video about this as well in 1080 pixelation. You know, I can actually go across the road just another 15 feet closer and get a different shot. Let me see if that's worth doing here. Not necessarily a better shot. It is closer, not that close. We got a better shot here, I think. There's no telling how long this is going to take. Let me see. The people are still there for the SPMT, and there are some sounds. So the fact that the SPMT people are still here might indicate that they're about to move it in the next 20 minutes or something like that. Shot. Yeah, they're still walking around with the box there, checking out. Looks like they're going to raise it up now, actually. Keep it zoomed in. if you're with SpaceX, here at OceanCam, we're attempting to go forward with a mission to Enceladus. I've been reaching out. I have over 18 of the 80 people who proposed a decadal survey to go to Enceladus. And so if you have any interest at SpaceX in collaborating on a mission to Enceladus, I'm looking for if you guys would match any funds that I raised from investors like 9.8 or maybe Goldman Sachs, possibly BlackRock also. I'm looking to raise maybe $4 billion to do a mission to Enceladus. Possibly less in the beginning, maybe a couple seed rounds, etc. But if you'd like to, if you guys were interested over at SpaceX or another company, insurance company, the payback wouldn't be for at least 10, 15 years. But we're looking to find different investors that would match funds here while we go through the seed rounds to raise $2 to $4 billion. So we can do a strip down mission to Enceladus. I've got 18 of the 80 people who did the decadal survey on LinkedIn as friends, and I'm chatting with 3 of them already. And what they indicated is that they're a little upset that NASA might not have funds in 2026 for them to start working on the mission to Enceladus. It was a New Frontier mission. It's slated as number 2 behind the Juno mission. The Juno is getting a number 1 priority, and Europa is all, so it's Titan and Europa are currently on the front burner for NASA. So it looks like the Enceladus people, due to inflation and also due to being second in line, they're upset that their mission is not probably going to get funded in 2026. Currently, NASA is planning to land on Enceladus. If everything were great and they had enough funding, they would land on Enceladus in 2051 to 2052 and explore the surface for 2 years. So what I'm proposing at OceanCam is to do a stripped down version with just primarily visible spectrum cameras, and to take surface and subsurface level video imagery. If we were more creative and we had a great engineering team, we could also put a submarine into one of the vents going down into the ocean there. So we want to get the video imagery. That's 2-part mission. Video imagery is the first priority. Second priority is to actually collect some of that and store some of that water, that ocean water that we extract off the either pump out or collect as it comes out of the geyser there on the surface of Enceladus, and then leave it on the moon for their future space mission, and sell that water at maybe $500 million to $1 billion per gallon to people, different spacefarers that want to secure that water as a resource for a future mission. So that's the payback to investors at $500 million to $1 billion per gallon of water on Enceladus. If we were to collect 6 gallons of water, that would be anywhere from $3 to $6 billion in value there. So that would pay off the mission if we were able to sell that water to a government agency like the European Space Agency, or another, maybe some scientific community or something like that, or possibly NASA. So that's the larger view of the OceanCam mission, and currently looking for people that would match funding. So if you have any interest in any aspect of that, send an email to info@oceancam.space. You could also send an email to info@embryospace.com. So there's 2 organizations currently that are involved in this OceanCam or Spaceport mission. I am the CEO of both companies. One of them is out of Texas, incorporated here in Texas, OceanCam or Spaceport. The other is Embryo Space Inc. If you do a Google search for embryo space colonization, that will give you a large amount of information on what the mission at Embryo Space Inc. is. Embryo Space is based out of Delaware, incorporated in Delaware, and it's ripe for investment. So OceanCam would be kind of the broker for the Embryo Space mission to Enceladus. and embryo space would be the entity which would be used for everything. So it'll be from scratch. The bylaws and everything else were created by the same company that created the SpaceX over there in Delaware. It's the CSC, Corporation Service. CSC is the name of the company. It's the agent, little something road or something like that. They are the same agent that created SpaceX. So I paid for them to create the Embryo Space Inc. And that's where it's at right now. So it's a kind of a prime. It's like the what is it called? There's a good word. It is the. It's ripe. It's ripe for. You know, when you have a company for a year, a couple of years, etc., there's different things that come into play with that company. But this company is fresh. It's a couple months old, and Embryo Space Inc. And it's ripe for the moving in. That's it. The moving in of the tenants, the different people that would be involved in a mission like that. So we got two things that we're waiting on. They have an SPMT around the ways. They're going to move the top. There's a top over here on an SPMT that they're going to place on top of the can crusher there on the left. So we're waiting to see either the SPMT underneath this can crusher lift up, and or this top begin to move out. Maybe they'll move the top out first down the road, and then they'll move the this with the SPMT after it, you know, within 20-30 minutes. They typically have one move out and then they move the other. So. I don't know if I introduced myself, but I guess I should introduce myself too. My name is Paul Mamakos. I've been a photographer here. I'm 46 years old. I have a commercial instrument pilot's license, so I've got some skill in flying airplanes, just smaller aircraft. I studied at Purdue for that university in West Lafayette, Indiana. In 1994, I started going to college over there in Indiana, and I studied nuclear engineering a couple of years, and I've been a business owner on and off since 2005 in various types of things. But we're looking at some space stuff here, and this is going to be eventually going into orbit. Some of these rockets. That's the hope of SpaceX, and when this stuff goes into orbit for the first time or first couple times, it's going to transform the whole space industry, because Elon wants to lower the cost to orbit right now. It would cost about $10,000 to send a gallon. Let me see, $10,000 per pound, I think, to send water into orbit, or almost anything, I believe. So a gallon of water is about $80,000 or so to get it into orbit. It's 8 point something pounds per gallon. So, and the OCEAN mission is to make it cheaper to have water on some of the moons in the solar system. There's a car coming down the road. So if it costs $10,000 per pound to get water into orbit at the moment, anywhere between it costs at least $1,000 per pound, and maybe even up to $10,000. So SpaceX wants to reduce that cost to orbit by launching these larger volume spaceships, and once they achieve that, it's gonna change the whole scene as far as sending stuff into space, and it's gonna by a factor of like 10. So if it costs $80,000 to $100,000 per gallon to send a gallon of water into space, it'll cost $10,000 or maybe a lot less. So. And that's low Earth orbit. We're talking, if you were going to send something into low Earth orbit, that's very close to the Earth. So when you send it to the moon, that costs even more because it's more propellant. And then if you send it to another moon, like the two moons of Mars are Deimos and Phobos. if you were to send something to Deimos or Phobos, the 2 moons of Mars, that would cost, I think Elon has said, if you were to send water, a gallon of water to Mars, it would cost $1 billion or something like that. So that's if you could reduce that by a factor of 10 and make it only $100,000 per gallon, that would be a tremendous feat. But if you could also find the water, find out where the water is on Mars, and put it into a gallon jug, then you might be able to sell it for a lot cheaper and have more customers. So the OceanCam mission is to, if we could collect a swimming pool of water, 500 to 600,000 gallons of water, at even at the reduced price of $10,000 per gallon, 500,000 gallons of water at a price of 10,000, that'd be about 80,000 per gallon, but 10,000 per pound. That would be tremendous value, and it would also help out a lot too. So you can do the math with me. If we reduce the amount from 8.6 or something pounds per gallon, if you make it 8, just straight out 8, if we were to say there's 8 pounds per gallon, and if we had 500,000 gallons of water, a swimming pool is like 600 and something thousand gallons. If we had 500,000 gallons of water, and it was, say, imagine it was 8 pounds per gallon, 500,000 times 8, 16, 4 through 40. So that's like 4 million, 500,000 gallons, 8 pounds per gallon. That's 4 million, it comes out to 4 million. And if we multiply 4 million times 10,000, that's maybe $40 billion or something like that. It's a lot of money. So if you were able to go to Mars, go to some type of moon out there in our solar system, collect 500,000 gallons of water in some type of membrane or storage container, you would have secured billions and billions of dollars worth of value there. And people would gladly pay for that if you were able to do that. So that's the mission of OceanCam. If a mission to Enceladus in today's terms at NASA, with all the bureaucratic stuff that they have, or all these special machinery and everything, with spectrophotometers and everything else, is $4 to $5 billion is what they're looking at. So if you had a stripped down version, which was mainly a camera and maybe possibly some of the equipment might make it more expensive, like a big water membrane or something like that. And we got to realize that it is much colder on Enceladus, but if we were able to get under the ice, then the liquid under the ice is much more liquidy. It's not frozen. But on the surface of some of these moons, it's very cold, like -300 C or something like that. So, but on Enceladus, the water is already coming out. It's already being shot out. There are geysers on the south pole of Enceladus. One of the moons around Saturn. So the water's already coming out. You don't really have to burrow into the ice. So if we were able to put something over one of those geysers and just collect so if there's a huge geyser over here and there's a little tiny one over here where it's just bubbling out, some of the water is just bubbling up, we just gotta go one of those spots where it's just coming out, a smaller stream of water coming out. We don't have to go and put something on top like a cup. If you could turn a cup over and collect some of that stuff that's coming out through the geyser and then close the hatch on the bottom there, you would have collected so many gallons of water, right, from Enceladus. So we don't need some huge pumps and stuff to pump it out. We don't need huge drills to drill into the ice, through the granite ice. But if there were a large enough opening on the south pole there of Enceladus, we could drop or catapult a submarine down beneath the ice. And if we had a good enough telemetry, we don't want to bring a wire or anything, but if we had a good enough telemetry, we could take video cameras imagery of the water, the oceans, 25-mile deep ocean on Enceladus, much deeper than the ocean on the Earth, 25 miles deep, liquid ocean all across the whole moon. That's probably a good adventure. If anyone would like to participate, reach out to me, info@oceancam.space, or paul@embryospace.com. And that's the situation we're looking at. Okay, but I can wrap that up a little bit. Looks like they're still working on getting that SPMT to raise up. So if we were able to accumulate or contain a swimming pool of water through those geysers coming up off the surface, maybe we have some super thick membrane of something that we're able to launch to Enceladus and put it over one of these geysers. If we were able to contain 500,000 or 100,000 gallons of water on Enceladus, that would easily pay for the cost of the mission. So that's where the payoff comes to the investors. If you put in even $5 billion in today's value, if we were to put $4 or $5 billion in, and then we secured $40 billion of value, there's a 10x your money right there. Okay. Okay, Attila says, looks like the test will be on Thursday. There is a road closure scheduled for Thursday, Friday, and Monday as well coming up. So that's a good guess, Bleda. Yeah, Carl says, just crossed my mind. Wonder what it would cost to get the containers to where the water is to begin with. That's going to be to up the price considerably. Yes, I'm looking into that as well, Carl. Good stuff. Even 6 gallons of water, you know, that would be worth anywhere from $3 to $6 billion right there. So if you could collect 6 gallons of water, you would break even. So we don't have to collect that much water to make profit. We could collect 20 gallons of water and still easily 5x your money right there. So it doesn't have to be a lot of water. It doesn't have to be a swimming pool water, but as much water as you can afford to contain is, yep. Drone says you may not need a hard container, just a membrane to stop boiling off evaporation. It would freeze quickly, so harvesting ice would be similar and might not even need to search liquid water. Yeah, harvesting ice could be a thing, but I'd like to get the water. You know, the whole thing about the ocean cam is at least taking video imagery of the ocean water, and then how we store it could be ice. That could be fine, right? So I guess finding out different ways of storing ice. It's going to be in a granite form. Unless we keep it heated up, it's going to turn into granite as it theoretically, but there is the E ring around Saturn is made out of water vapor from Enceladus, so it doesn't all turn into granite. So because there's not granite circling, there's not granite, I don't think, circling Saturn, is there, or is it water vapor? I got to look more into the E ring and learn about the state of that water out there. Alan says you can make glass from the regolith. All you need is heat. Good stuff. Morning, drones. Good stuff. Astronomery Stephen. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, Drone says they could use the Bigelow inflatable habitat to hold the water. Yes, I've attempted to reach out to Bigelow Aerospace a few times, and I have left a message with a lady there. They went out of business during the COVID timeframe. They still answer the phone, and you can still leave a message. They're out of Nevada, I remember. Robert Bigelow has gotten into spirituality and consciousness. I got into that in the year 1996, so I don't know how new Bigelow is to the consciousness realms. But I'd be happy to chat with him. I'd be happy to chat with you, Mr. Bigelow. I'm a world expert as far as that type of experience, the astral, the out-of-body, the other dimensional states. If you'd like help in that, reach out to me. If you know Mr. Bigelow, let him know. I'd be happy to meet with him and go over the different possibilities for humanity. Hey, Mule Skinner. Yeah, Mule Skinner, the water would stay on the moon's surface, not planning to move it anywhere. We can move it into orbit, but not planning to move that water anywhere. So we don't have to pay for the return trip. We're gonna keep it there on the moon or nearby in a container or something like that. It's kind of like if you're going to be going on a trip and someone can drop a backpack of food or water for you, then the ocean can, by going to these different locations and placing the water in some type of container or leaving it in a certain spot, is kind of like then you know it's there, and then you can plan around that and you can use it. Maybe if you pay for the water, or if you make a deal, we could it would be useful. So Tiberius CX says, Mr. Bigelow passed away a couple of years ago. Is that true, Tiberius? I have to look into that again. If that's true, I have to look into that. I did reach out to them over a year ago, so if it happened recently, more recently, then I got to look into that. Tiberius CX, thanks for the note. Drones, you'd love to join? Cool. Yeah, I don't know if he's gone, but I will follow up with that info you just left us there, Tiberius. If that's true, then maybe they have a lot of infrastructure, and they have a lot of maybe skilled people there. Probably, I would imagine. I never really saw people on his team, but I'm sure he gathered together a team at Bigelow, and maybe they're listed on the Crunchbase website. I can look up and see who some of the partners and team members were on the Bigelow team. But if they don't have a leader anymore, I'd love to do a partnership with the people who are now running that or holding that equipment and all the expertise they've gathered. I'd love to keep it moving it forward. Okay, SpaceX Studio says, if you think water from Earth to Leo is expensive, that's nothing compared to the cost of getting water off Saturn. Yeah, the cost of getting water to low Earth orbit is expensive, but the cost of getting water from Earth to Mars is even more expensive. And to getting water from Earth to any of the moons or anywhere in the deeper solar system, it's way more expensive than just getting water to orbit, to low Earth orbit. So, but it would be, yeah, we're not talking getting water off Saturn. We're talking getting water off one of the moons of Saturn. And these moons don't have an atmosphere. So yes, there's an issue as far as slowing down when you get to the moon, but leaving, even Elon has said, if you were to launch a Starship off of Mars or even another moon, since the gravity is much lower, it'd be easier to get off the moon or the planet than to get to the planet. So. Okay, Queen Bees says to Tiberius CX, Bigelow's wife passed away in 2020, not Mr. Bigelow. Okay, that's great info, Queen. Thanks. Drew Harold says, Mercelli, they found water on the moon. Yeah, some of the recent imagery we're getting, I believe it's from not only the Artemis 1 mission, but yeah, I believe it's just from the Artemis 1 mission. They apparently got some images of ice on some of the craters, etc., on the moon. Okay, SpaceX Studio says the escape from Saturn's sphere of influence is drastically high compared to Earth. You know, well, that's good information. I got to learn more about that. But maybe somebody wants to have a moon colony on one of those moons around Saturn. Say we want to populate one of these moons, and so we're not looking necessarily at selling it to anyone who wants to get the water away from the moon, but it would be a first of its kind to get to collect water on another moon off the planet, on some other moon in our solar system. Nobody's ever done that before. Yes, there's water on the moon. If you were to, and some of the regolith, it said that I think that China or the, I think it was the Chinese that did some, yes, I'm remembering that correctly. They did a sample of the regolith on the moon, and they found it had a very minute amount of water in it. So, there's another company that a gentleman named Benjamin out of Australia told me about, that they were going to scoop up some of the regolith, and then they were going to like evaporate the regolith, and then they would collect the water vapor and recondense it. So there's water in the regolith on the moon for sure. But the new Artemis mission apparently got some imagery of ice on the moon as well. Okay, Alan says that Robert Bigelow is still alive. He's offering nearly $1 million if you help him figure out how to survive after death. Well, I can do that, Robert. I can definitely help him experience and learn to survive after death. If anyone can reach out to Mr. Bigelow, I will follow up again, call his the phone number that I have for Mr. Bigelow. But reach out to him as well. Mr. Bigelow, if you're watching this, I've been out of body hundreds of times. If you haven't done that yet, I can help you do that. Beyond the different alien stuff that's common in the culture here, there's a, yeah, I can help you do that, experience it, and also learn to survive after death. Drone says, I would pay $2 million. Well, if you guys want to do a month-long workshop, it'll only take you probably about 2 weeks to have an out-of-body experience. But if you want to spend more time together, we can do that. But I can either one-on-one or in a group. It's nicer if there's 3 or 4 people, or at least 3 people, because then you get a little bit of a group energy, group experience going as far as believability and opening up the energy and the space for you to have an experience. But yeah, I've been out of body many, many times, and we could do that. I could help you have that experience. We would use binaural beats developed by the Monroe Institute and the Hemisync. It's a binaural beat music technology, and yeah, I could help facilitate that experience for you and help you understand it better. Drew says, the Lord Jesus Christ. Yeah, so I will zoom out and get a little extra commentary on this just because there's so much enthusiasm about it. I may start losing viewers right now as I talk about this, but we'll see. I keep stepping off the road because vehicles start coming down the road. I guess I can move the camera back a little bit, and that might make it easier. Yeah, I will move the camera back a little bit. Move a little bit. That will allow me to step in front of the camera and not get run over. I've got a trait for you. I think I should, so, yeah, okay, before I get into that, I want to say that if you knew there were water on the moon out there, I guess I'll get on camera for this too. I've got two different things I'm going to talk about. If you knew there were water on the moon and on Enceladus, and it were there in a tent, and all you had to do was get over there in your little tent, and you'd be able to drink the water, and you'd be safe and everything else, would you do it? I guess if you knew there was water there, and you were able to buy the water, most of us would definitely do it. If you knew there were a 25-mile deep ocean which covered this whole moon, which was many, many, many miles long. This moon, the diameter of Enceladus is pretty big. So you have a very deep ocean. If you could even just get a submarine over there and you had some guaranteed water that you could drink when you got there, would you do it? So we're not talking about selling the water to someone or transporting the water off of the surface of Enceladus. We could just leave it right there. Somebody's going to want the water. And if they really want it, they'll drop their ship there and they'll find a way of getting it off the surface. So all we have to do is get over there, collect the water, done deal. We can sell it to somebody. So it's not our issue. We took the risk of getting a camera over there. We took the risk of finesse of gathering the different engineers and scientists capable of putting together that mission over maybe 3 years it would take to design the mission and the equipment. And then we launched it, we funded everything. That's a lot of risk. And then we actually accomplished a mission of getting onto the surface of Enceladus, a moon around Saturn, which has a 25 deep ocean. And then we actually dropped the camera into the water there, or we were able to video from the surface, the water, the ocean on Enceladus. So we confirmed for the first time ever there was a liquid ocean on another moon anywhere in our solar system. NASA's not done it. The ESA has not done it. The military people have not done it. So nobody's done that yet. It would be a first of its kind ever. And so Ocean Camera Space Corp would be part of that mission. Embryo Space Inc. would be part of that. The larger Embryo Space Inc. is to not only to facilitate the Ocean Camera Space Corp mission of taking that surface level video imagery, but to identify locations throughout the galaxy where we can send different ships out there to different star systems, even maybe other moons in our solar system, and we can do the same mission on a larger scale also. Embryos, about taking embryos, look up embryo space colonization and you'll get a better idea of it, of what that's about too. But we need the Ocean Cam mission to succeed in order to do the embryo mission. So, so we're not talking about going anywhere with this water. It's not going to cost us any money to transport it anywhere. We just got to secure it in some type of container. All right, so the second point, we were going to talk about, there's two types of infinity. If we look up into space, we see the blue sky, and it's blue because of the sunlight through the atmosphere. But if we get up, when we get up there into space, it's not going to be a blue sky. So it's almost as if infinity, where it's almost infinite. It's only infinite as far as the expansion of awareness of consciousness. So there's energy all over throughout all that is the universe, all throughout our solar system. There's energy everywhere, and where there's energy, there's awareness. So there's a subtle consciousness which permeates the whole universe. So wherever that emotion, wherever that energy, wherever that consciousness chooses to direct its attention, that's where space expands. So space is pretty much infinite as far as the interest of awareness to expand in that area. To wherever, like right now on the video camera, I'm expanding my conversation. So we're getting a more infinite, we're getting more information, something else to look at, to think about. So space is pretty much infinite. So there's two types of infinity. There's the passive infinity, just like in physics. There's potential energy and kinetic energy. We're on the Earth here, unless you're watching from the space station, or if you're off planet on a military mission or something like that, or maybe you're around us, or maybe you're in a different civilization where we can't see what dimension you're in. So there's many dimensions. Then maybe you're watching this signal from the future or the past. I don't know, but however you're watching this, we're here. I'm currently here on this planet, the Earth. And so if you were to evolve at the speed of the Earth is apparently many billions of years old, apparently. So if you want to evolve at the speed of Earth, that would be more the passive side of infinity. As far as the Earth doesn't really move around. It doesn't. It has all these. Okay, I am the Earth. You are the Earth. So in a certain sense, we are everything. So, but as far as looking at the Earth and looking at my body, the Earth appears to be separate. So the Earth, if you want to evolve, stay within the sphere of the Earth, the energy of the more localized energy of the Earth, you're going to evolve at the speed of the Earth. There are other moons and planets throughout our solar system and throughout all that is that are at different stages. Like we talk about different suns or a red dwarf sun, different types of evolution of a body of these different moons and planets and suns. Like Jupiter is maybe some people say it was going to become a sun, but it didn't. So if you want to evolve at the speed of the body that you're on, well, that's more of a passive infinity. But if you want to use your brain and your ability to perceive, your ability to sense, you can deaden your senses and have more rough ability to sense and to feel in these different areas. Or you can sharpen them. They can become more sensitive, and so you can be like a passive infinity. You can evolve and move like a sloth. You can be like a very slow change in your ability to think and to perceive and to interact, or like maybe a rock or a stone. You can be more like a stone and just stay in one spot or do the same thing for eons of time, or you can evolve a little bit faster than the Earth, and you can be more. You can use your brain, and you can move your body and all the senses and the abilities that you have, and you can start to imagine. You can think, and that's more the active side of infinity. And the more you refine your senses, then the more capability you have, the more to perceive. If you want to deaden your senses, if I were to take some cream and put it over one of these lenses, if I were to take some white, if I were to take some ketchup and put it over the lens of the camera here, you wouldn't be able to see so much through the camera. The imagery wouldn't be as good. So I would be deadening the visible spectrum senses of the camera. If I were to take some, what else? Yeah, there's a lot of things I could put on the camera here to make it less clear to look through. But if you were to increase the sensitivity of the camera, make it take the oil off of the lens there so you can really see through it, then you have a better capability of seeing what's out there and then choosing to interact with those things, etc. So in the same way, the more you refine your senses, there's certain things in the body called, we have, at least in Chinese medicine, we have 12 organ systems. We have the lungs with large intestine, stomach, spleen, heart, urinary bladder, kidneys, spleen. We have many different organs in the body, but there's organs which apparently, depending on what you eat and your energy in the body, are more dormant. Some people have lymph problems. There are all these different types of problems that people have, but the more you can get healthy and vibrant, like really alive, like you could say, oh, I'm healthy, but you can really be healthy. And when the more healthy you are, the less dormant some of these organs are and the more active they are. So the more sensitivity and the capability you have. So you're more on the active side of infinity. You're able to do things. And as you notice more capability, if you want to just take the other side, if you want to look at, so there's different belief systems, there's different tools that people have created to be able to perceive different states in the afterlife. So one of those tools is called Christianity. So in Christianity, they say there are angels and there's devils, and some people in Christianity say you're not supposed to look at the afterlife. You're just supposed to go to heaven and not think about it until you get there. So that's more of a passive side of infinity as in terms of being an explorer. Maybe you're a more active type of person. Maybe you want to go and meet Jesus. Maybe you really want to meet Jesus, or maybe you want to meet some of the angels. So is that kosher? Is that okay to do? So that's an active side of Christianity versus a passive side of Christianity. Passive side of Christianity might be say, just read the Bible and live your life and don't think about the afterlife until you get there. Another side might be like, let's go meet the angels, let's go meet Jesus, let's go stay away from the devil and try and help other people meet Jesus. So I'm not a religious person, but I'm a spiritual person. I am more on the active side of infinity, but I'm more along the traditions of Carlos Castaneda, Don Juan, Robert Monroe, Jane Roberts, Rudolf Steiner, Gurdjieff, Ouspensky. There's many, many different people who talk about a different ability in the universe. And also the Hindu tradition talks about this as well. So I'm more along the lines of the active infinity, which says, let's go see what's there. And so, yeah, that's all I had to say about that. You can not only make your here and now more interesting and exciting, but you can also explore in other ways as you become healthier and wiser. It's said that the older you get, the thinner the veil gets, V-E-I-L. The healthier you get, the thinner the veil. And so after the age of around 63 is apparently when some of that stuff starts kicking in a little bit more. For me, it started when I was 19. I became, my perception and the ability to discern was pretty top notch at the age of 19. All right, I'll go back in the chat. Thanks for listening to my chat here, but it felt appropriate to talk about it right now. Okay, SpaceX Studios says, wouldn't anyone planning on going to Enceladus for staying there bring their own methods for extraction of water? Well, that's like saying, wouldn't anyone who wants to eat a pancake just make their own pancake batter? Not everybody likes to make pancake batter. When they wake up in the morning, not everyone wants to make their own homemade hamburgers or make their own French fries. Not everybody likes to go and buy a bag of potatoes for $2.50 and then cut them into little slivers and then cook them enough to eat them and then fry them or whatever and then eat them in the morning. So not everybody has the time to go to Enceladus and collect the water. Not everybody has the time to find the exact location on Enceladus. So yeah, it is just like going to the supermarket and buying your food. That's like, it's going to be like a supermarket on Enceladus and the other moons, planning to go to Enceladus first, and doing the prep so that when someone wants to go and drink some water or extract some fuel for their ship, it'll have been secured as a resource. It'll be like the manufacturer. We would be kind of like the manufacturer. There's going to have to be distributors, there's going to have to be wholesalers, and then eventually there will be retailers. But there has to be that manufacturer to go to Enceladus and collect and package the water so that everybody else can come along and create products out of that water. So. All right, maybe I can partnership with some companies, right? SpaceX Studios says, remind me not to sign up for any colonization mission that doesn't bring their own means for survival, hoping the Enceladus 7-Eleven is open. Yeah, for the people to open 7-Eleven, you got to secure the water there first for that franchise to open up on Enceladus. Thanks. Hey, Drew, thanks, man. Says, I hope your dreams, you get your dreams. I think you are a very blessed person. I hope you get to go to space. Thanks, Tony. Thanks. Yeah, I've met a lot of beautiful beings, non-human entities, and so part of the OceanCam mission is to succeed at something very difficult, which it does bring together a lot of minds. So it's kind of like a meditation. It's a focus, but it has a here and now benefit of inspiring and transforming life here on the Earth as far as knowledge about the solar system and life off of Earth. It does secure possibility for more of us in the future to do larger things. Alan, thanks, man. It's 9:54 in the morning Central Time, so it's almost 10. They've done a bunch of moves at 10 in the morning in the past, so there is a chance they would do it before lunchtime, which would be at 11:45 would be lunchtime. So they have about an hour and 50 minutes before they would go to lunch. So there's a good amount of time in the next hour and change to move this. Drew, there's a couple ways to donate in the description here. On most of the videos, there's a donate section in the description. There's a PayPal button as well if you do an exclamation mark PayPal. But otherwise, if you'd like to be an investor in the future, I can't recommend being an investor, but until we decide on which type of, we're going to do a security offering. It's going to be unregistered security offering. So I've got to choose which type, and until that point, donations are the way which can help us out immediately. But if I'll have to choose between unregistered. There's about 7 different types of security offerings. Fasihi, yeah, you could email media@spacex.com if you'd like, Fasihi. I'm not with SpaceX. I don't represent SpaceX. I'm an independent photographer with his own company, corporation. But I'm on the public, I'm on the road, on the public property here right at the moment. So you're allowed to come down the road and film here at SpaceX, as long as you stay off of SpaceX property. So yeah, Drew, there is, thanks. Okay, if you scroll up a little bit, Nightbot put out a link there to a PayPal. That's the one of the direct ways to donate to OceanCam. Or my name is Paul Mamakos. Thanks. Thanks for offering. Good stuff. There is a link in the description. Otherwise, the Nightbot put up, Tony did an exclamation mark PayPal, and that's the link for PayPal is there. So, appreciate it. I do send an email back to people who contribute, whether it's Venmo or PayPal or another method. So I'll send you an email back saying thanks, and I'll open a communication if you ever want to chat about anything within 24 hours. I'm talking with 3 attorneys I met almost 2 months ago here in Brownsville, Texas. I met with 3 attorneys who are looking at, who are curious, as many people are, and they may be on the team in the future, but we're looking at putting together some type of security offering as the time approaches for, as the right time for that approaches. So we're moving slow. We don't have to go fast, but we have met. I've met a few times with one of them, and once with the other two. So altogether, we've met all together once, 3 people, all 4 of us, but 3 attorneys and me. So yeah. Thanks, Tony. Weather coming up. Fair with the temperature 74 degrees Fahrenheit. Yeah, it is kind of warm out here. 23 degrees Celsius. The wind is from the south-southeast at 15 miles an hour. It is a little windy right now. So this is a normal speed of the wind, 24 kilometers an hour, and the humidity is 93%. Yeah, it is kind of moist over here too. That's humid for this time of day. I move the camera a little bit. I don't know if they're taking a break or what. Alan says -2 Celsius in Dorset. I have my phone on do not disturb, so I can't get any messages or texts right now. Tony said -1 in Warwickshire, UK, Celsius. -1 Celsius. think on Enceladus, it's like negative 250 to negative 300 on the surface Celsius. I think negative 200 something, which is about negative 300 Fahrenheit. But that's the info we get from afar. Some of these, just like apparently on Mars, there is a canyon on Mars which is larger than the United States, and it has water, and it's around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. So maybe there's something similar on Enceladus. Maybe there are some regions that are warmer, and just because NASA hasn't gotten a close-up, maybe they don't know the localized region, the temperature there. So. I said this once before, around Saturn there's another moon which goes around okay, I say a few interesting facts. There's another moon around Saturn called Dione, or Dion. I'm not sure how it's said, but there is another moon which goes around about once every time. Enceladus goes around Saturn like twice for every one time that Dione goes around Saturn. So, and they have a kind of an interaction gravitationally or magnetically, or however you term what that force is, whether it's gravitational or magnetic. There is a interaction between those two moons apparently, and that's what causes the elliptical orbit around Saturn, the influence of those two moons interacting with each other. There are more moons around Saturn as well. It's not just two moons around Saturn. There's many, many moons around Saturn, but those two have apparently a closer interaction. And Enceladus, just like our moon, it doesn't rotate on its. So if you were on Saturn looking at Enceladus, you would always see the same face of Enceladus facing Saturn. The moon of Enceladus doesn't rotate on its axis as it circles around Saturn. So just that would lead me to believe. Some other people have talked about artificial moons, artificial satellites, and apparently if Enceladus doesn't rotate on its axis, then there's a good chance Enceladus is an artificial moon sitting there around Saturn, because it doesn't rotate. And a lot of people will say, well, that's because it's gravitationally tide-locked and etc. Well, that's one good theory, but there are some other theories out there about why a few moons throughout our solar system don't rotate on their axis. The day on Enceladus, like on Earth, our day is 24 hours. The day over there on Enceladus is 34, 35 hours, 8, 16, 20, 30. It's around 32 and a half, or 32 hours and 50 minutes or something like that. So they have a longer day than we do here on the Earth. So if you'd like to have a few more days in a few more hours in your day, I might recommend going to Enceladus and setting up camp over there, because you get more sunlight, or you get more hours in your day. It's probably also lighter over there too, so you don't have to. It's not so hard to walk around. 32 hours or so on Enceladus every day. Wonder how that affects your sleep cycle. Drew, thanks, man. The guys are moving around again. Let's get a better shot of that. See what they're doing. I have that shot on the right side of the screen because if they move this, they're planning to move that first, I believe. So yeah, Drew, yeah, thanks. Have a good day to you. Nice to chat. Says you're one of the longest running people that have been filming consecutively and doing this kind of work. I'm really proud. Yep. I read the comment a little earlier. Thank you. Good day to you. If you have to go, I appreciate tuning in. You can always reach out to me by email or leave a message on a video or send me an email. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for participating. Yeah, engineering today is a paid, yes, he's good to go, Alan. Thanks for asking. Engineering today is one of 2 licensed companies for the Ocean Camera Space Corp content. He's a great guy. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. Yeah, they're good to go. They are kosher over there at Engineering Today, Alan. Yep. See you, Drew. If you ever have any ideas about anything, send me a message, or if you just want to say hello, that's cool too. Anytime. All right, looks like they're getting ready to raise up the SPMT. If we ever lose audio, let me know and I'll unplug the mic and just go without the mic. But we're good to go for now. But if that ever happens, just let me know. Like no sound or no audio. You should always be able to hear some type of ambient noise coming through. Thanks, Tony. It looks like I'm gonna look back down again. It looks like they closed that gap. I think there used to be a gap underneath there. It looks to me like they did raise up the SPMT enough to have it sitting on it. If you see a space under there, let me know, between the SPMT and it looks like they lifted it up, so it's at least snug. I haven't seen any actual lifting of the SPMT, but looks to me they've done that now. They've done it. I was chatting with someone who worked here a few days ago, and I got a little different appreciation for what I do here at SpaceX and what we as photographers do. I was told that, you know, the people who work here at SpaceX, they can't really take photographs and everything of what's going on, but we as photographers can. And if the people at SpaceX are working on something or whatever, it's nice for other people to take the photos so that they can go back and look at it themselves after the work is done. And so I appreciated that comment, and it gave a different spin on what I'm doing here. Like actually hearing some appreciation for, you know, the taking of the footage. Looks like they're putting a piece of wood up there too. On the top, on the very top. Mule Skinner, thanks, man. Yep. I do some shorter videos too, so if you're new to the channel, it's not always, I don't always put out these long videos, but I do live stream as well as put out shorter segments. Thank you. I don't remember seeing wood in their little thing there, but they they are carrying something which looks like some planks of wood. It's 10:16 right now. They have about an hour and 30 minutes before the lunchtime. So, at the rate they're going, maybe they will do this after lunch, is possibly what I'm starting to feel. They may get everything into place and then move it this afternoon. Thanks, Tony. Yep. Yeah, it was good. It was good for me to hear that from the gentleman. Yep. Thanks. I'll be here like another hour and see if it moves. If it goes till lunchtime, I'll probably leave at lunchtime, 11:45, and I might not get it if it moves at that point. So. The last time I did something like this on this channel, there's a video for people who are not subscribed yet called The King Returns. And that video was taken just to my right. I'll move the camera here and get a shot to the right. Here is this, over in this direction was where the T-Mobile event happened, just in this little court, in the courtyard over there. But the last time I did a very long stream, like 8 hours or something like that. It was just down this road, Rocket Road, and the footage on that is the video for people new to the channel. When you go to the homepage here on YouTube, it's called The King Returns. It's of the large crane, Kong crane, I think it was, getting put together over there, that yellow crane with the, it's a great video I did a while back. I have it as the intro video for the channel now. Oop. Here we go. Here we go. You get a better shot on the top there. They got some ropes around the, maybe they're securing that better, the piping at the top. Maybe they didn't feel comfortable about how it was situated or something. Oh, they've got several planks of wood. Tilt down. See, someone's going up to the top too, another person. Looks to me like the guys on the ground are, they're ready to go, it looks like, but they have to make sure everything is secured before they get it going. There's a lot of wires on this thing too. Okay, Tony says the yellow crane was the hired LR 11,000, the one they brought at the launch site. Like the, okay, it was also an 11,000. Yep, like the one they had at the launch site. Yes, that's true. Thanks. Hey Alan, yep, that'd be kind of cool if Elon saw the stream and watched the chat, joined the chat, that'd be cool. Oh, he's done that before in another stream. Okay, that's cool. There's someone who calls themselves Elon that's been on this live stream before as well. I don't know if that's the same Elon that you're talking about, but yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Kind of cool. Okay, Tony says Kong was the LR 11,350 with the twin power boom for the tower build. Okay, so it wasn't the Kong, it's just an 11,000. I got it, thank you. You know, with the different trees that SpaceX puts out here, I have yet to, until just now, see a tree that they've planted which produces fruit, but it just came into my view. I'm all about planting things which produce fruits. And when I got this shot just a little bit before, Nona, awesome. That definitely is a papaya tree right there, everybody. So congrats to SpaceX for having a fruit tree here on site. I'm very, very impressed. I've got a bunch of papaya seeds on the OceanCam property. Might be able to get some papayas out there as well. Nona Soft has joined as a subscriber. Good stuff. I don't know what to say. I have to learn more about you, but nice to chat with you here a little bit. Good stuff. I've got this thing, if people are looking to visit SpaceX, when we reach 15,000 subscribers, I will be giving out 15 free tours here at SpaceX. I was thinking, well, how could I do that? How do I give them out in a way that people would use them? Well, maybe if people subscribe in blocks and they tell me that they're going to be signing up 100 people or whatever, maybe I give out 1 per 100 or something, one free tour per 100. But recently I was thinking, well, maybe it's a first come, first serve. Once we hit the 15,000 here, once we hit the 16,000, 17,000, 18, 19, 20, at 15,000, I will be giving out 15 free tours at SpaceX. All you would have to do is show up here in Brownsville or something, and maybe send me an email or some info@oceancam.space. Say, I'm going to be, you could schedule it ahead of time, or you could just show up at a certain time and call me. And if I haven't yet given away those 15 or 16 or 20 tours for 20,000, 20 tours, and then you would be on the list. So I think that's the way I'm going to do it. Unless we have large groups of people, schools sign up all at once, then I would give those people confirmed free tour tickets. But typically it goes for about 80 bucks plus tax, so it's 81 something for a tour, for a 3-hour tour. But I will be giving them away for free, and I'm going to do it on a first come, first serve. So once we hit 15,000, once we hit 18,000, etc. Today is December 12th, 2022, on Monday. You'll have a free tour. So get it out there, everybody. Yes, Solange says there's a lot of people in the UK who'd like to visit one day. There was a person from the UK that flew in a month ago, a younger gentleman, and I gave him a tour. He paid for it, but on the OceanCam website there is a checkout page and everything for doing a tour. That's good, nice to hear. Looks like they may be installing another bar or taking one off, but and that lift is coming down too, so that could be an indicator that they're finished on the top there. Yeah, they're going to put that bar in there. It's some type of extension. I guess while they're here, they're installing it while they're here. They're going to need it for whatever tests they're doing, so they're installing that piece of metal there. Yeah, Rob, thanks. It is a beautiful day here. Hola, Christian. I've started putting some subtitles, closed captioning on some of the videos as well. So if there's a video that you'd like to be made into a closed caption type thing, let me know. It takes a little typing and stuff, but I've done that on a handful of videos up till now. Looks like they installed it. Plastic Mug asks, is the air separation unit working yet? Tony says we should do a UK tour to Starbase with Ocean Cam Tours. Yeah, we can do tours of up to 12, maybe even up to 14 people, depending on how big they are, but definitely 12, 13 people we can fit in a van of 14 passenger van. The people at MSX have a van, so that's anywhere from 8 to 12 people is a comfortable amount of people to do. And then we can do a few tours in the same day. So if there's a large group of people of 20 or 40 or so people, we can do maybe 2, maybe 3 tours in the same day. Otherwise, over maybe 5 days, we do a bunch. There's a lady that called me from a local group, and they have 20 people they were looking to do a tour with. So it's not yet confirmed, but we've chatted once about the possibility. It was 20 people, so in that situation, we could go with one van and they could drive their own vehicles, or we could do 2 trips in the same day and do like 10 people per trip. 2.5, 3 hour tour. You know, it's a half hour each way to drive from Brownsville to here, so it takes a little while there. You got at least an hour from there, and if it's a 2.5, 3 hour tour, you got about an hour and a half of here on site time. So we can make that longer or just keep it as it is. But for the 2 tours that I've done so far, it's worked out nicely. There's a couple stops one at the launch site and a couple different views from the launch site at the dunes, and then the build site here and coming down this road as well. They're lifting these things on the bottom left here up onto the SPMT. There's one of them up there already, way over there. So it looks like they may be getting a bunch more of these and putting them up on the SPMT. I guess these, they will, okay, so they're probably gonna use the crane also to lift this contraption, this can crusher, up onto these stilts here on the left. So they'll put the stilts down at the launch site, and then they'll lift this whole platform and the base there up onto those stilts, And then after that's all said and done, they'll take that top and put it on the top there too. So. They're going up with more wood, so they're not done with the, they're not done with the prep work inside, all right? Okay, Alan, thanks. I can't do anything about the music, so you're gonna just have to ride with it. I'll let YouTube figure it out. Yeah, Alan, yep. What YouTube has started doing is, instead of giving you a copyright, I guess it depends on the musician, they've just been demonetizing that and sending the monetization to the musician. So that's what or give you the option of deleting the audio from that section. So. Excuse me. Yeah. When I first started out filming in March of 2021, I was, when I first learned about the copyright thing, I was kind of stressed out, but there have been a bunch of situations where I have ended up using some music had music in the video and it turned out fine, so it'll be fine. I'm a lot relaxed these days. When I started this live stream, I thought it'd be a lot quicker than it has been, so that's why I Chief from What About It is now here with his truck. I think he's looking at the scene and trying to see when the events might happen with moving this. Okay, Plastic says, any idea how many tankers to fill a Starship that is used to refuel another Starship already in space? How are they going to do daily flights? Yeah, Plastic, that's a great question. Great question. If you know that answer, anyone, go ahead. Because the angry astronaut was saying that when the dear moon, maybe they would want to fly them up on another, get the civilian astronauts up there into space on another rocket or something, and then when the Starship gets up there into space, they would fuel up the Starship, transport the crew from another ship already in orbit onto the Starship, and fly around the moon from that point. But they would have to refuel the Starship at that point, right? So if they launch the Starship into orbit, they would need more fuel to go around the moon. Apparently that was the thought that the angry astronaut put out, in addition to other stuff about it being dangerous to launch, to go up, for a person to be up on one of the earlier launches of the Starship. So maybe they want to get it off the ground into orbit first, and at that point they would fuel it up, and it would be a safer vehicle to go around the moon. There are some people way to the right by the, I get them in the shot. On the bottom right of the screen, there are some people taking photos of the Starship, and you can see how tall the Starship is compared to the people down over there. Kind of a nice comparison. So if I ever had a chance to chat with Elon again, I would ask him, would he be interested in matching any investment? Would he invest into OceanCam or definitely into Embryo Space Inc.? Would SpaceX or he or some of his business partners be interested in matching investment of other people? So, for instance, if you work at a company and your company says, I'll match however much you put into your IRA or your retirement, right? If you put $1 in, we'll put $1 in. Your company would match it, right? So would SpaceX match, or would Elon match investment into embryo space, whatever somebody else put forward, would they match it? That would be a nice way to raise the $4 or $5 billion for one or more space missions to the moons. Yeah, there is a lady named Stephanie who's been on here before, says Tony, and she would know how many tankers it would take to refuel a Starship in orbit. Okay, Solange asked about the banana trees. Good stuff. Well, we have a zone 10, zone 11 here in South Texas, Boca Chica. So, and we've had a lot of water recently. I mean, a lot of water. So, for instance, there were 2 feet of water on at least 3/4 of the property at the Ocean Camera Space Corp near the launch site. So within 2 miles of the SpaceX launch site, Ocean Camera Space Corp has some property over there. So the banana tree I planted, I bought a banana tree in 2021. I think it was, no, 2022, earlier this year in 2022, and planted on the property. And within a few days, all the leaves had died away, but then they started coming out one by one, the different banana leaves. So it's been at least 3-4 months now the banana trees have been there. We've had a lot of rain, a lot of water, and it's on the banana tree is planted on the higher area of the property, so it's doing great. It has around 10 leaves right now, banana leaves, and it's just continuing to grow bigger and to have a bigger trunk. So yeah, I like to look at it when I go back to the property. I believe it's a Jamaican banana tree variety. Yep. I've been to over 50 countries around the planet here, and I've wanted to grow some of the things that are in those other climates. Costa Rica has these. If you're ever able to go to Central America or even to the Southeast Asia, like Bali or Indonesia, Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. I've never been to India, but Costa Rica, Mexico, they have their plants have very big leaves. I don't know how big the leaves are going to get here in Texas. I'm looking forward to seeing that, but this area on the Earth has much better. The leaves are going to be much better here than they would be in Washington, D.C., Delaware, Illinois, Chicago. The plant leaves don't get so big over there. So yeah, I'm excited to see how that turns out with the different fruit trees. I planted a lot of papaya seeds as well. From going to the store, you can buy, you know, papaya seeds, etc. Okay. No. But let me see. There's a SpaceX website, SpaceX.com, and you might be able to. Do you have? Oh yeah. You can ask at the main gate. Go around to the main gate and go to the guard. Go up to the end there, make a left, and the big. You'll see some people lined up maybe to go inside.
What are you taking pictures of this?
Yeah, doing a live stream. Somebody here, everybody.
So what do they do in sections? Is that what I understand? Like for example, is that the baseline right there, the base by itself, and then they
Right.
they have to have a base,
Yeah.
and then afterwards they build it from there.
Well,
See how they have a base of the launch?
they brought some of these back from the launch site already. So these have been. This one on the left already flew, on the one with the one patch over there.
Yeah.
But these two on the right, they've never flown. So they'll bring equipment down to the launch site, and then they'll
Oh, this is at the launch site?
No.
Oh.
It's that way 2 more miles.
Okay. And you can see more?
Yeah.
Are you allowed to go over there?
Yeah.
I didn't know that was launched already.
I was here.
Oh, when they launched it? Oh, how long ago?
May of last year, May 10th or something. Yeah.
So this one here, are they building 2 more, 3 more?
There's one in this building here.
What is that? What are these towers for?
They build these things in there.
Inside?
Yeah, and you can see it from the far side over
Oh,
there.
okay.
And so they have one of these big ones in this one here right now, and they have one of these starships they're building in this
Are you
building.
allowed to go in there?
No, but you can see it from the road. Well, welcome to the site. Here for the first time.
Yes. Well, I would never saw it. My grandson got a job here.
Awesome.
So I would have come with you when I got the job.
All right.
Now, that one next to the one that was launched,
Yeah.
what is that? Is that where it's still being built?
That one they did some testing on, the one on the left.
So what are these here?
This is they're gonna move this to the launch site maybe today. They're gonna freeze it, and it's gonna cryo test on it. So that they're gonna move that around. They're just putting the transporter underneath it, and they're gonna move. There's a top to the right that they're gonna put over there when they get to the launch site.
So that base has wheels?
Oh, there's a like a vehicle underneath it which has like lots of wheels.
And they move it through here?
Yeah, you can walk down to the end and look that way, and there's a top over there. It has a smaller vehicle underneath it. Yeah. I think they'll drive it down the road.
So they bring it this way or this way?
Yeah, I think so. They're gonna bring it. Yeah. Either that or behind.
Matthew, he says that one with a patch on it? Yeah. He said it was last year. He was here when he did that.
Yeah.
See the third one? See the one with the patch? What? The patch, the black patch? Yeah. He says that one went up last year. This is covered in some type of carbon or something.
There's some people here. Everybody chatting with some people.
So these welders here are welding these pieces together?
I'm not sure if they're welding or not, but it looks like they're adding more. It looks like they're protecting it for when they move it, so it doesn't jiggle around or something. They are adding a bar on the left. There's some type of piping, but I think it's just maybe they want to. They may be taking it off right now, but they may be afraid when they move it down the road it's going to get bent or something.
Today, right now?
I think so. Today, there's a lot of white cones on the road, so they put them out last night.
So through here, they go through here?
Yeah. But you can walk up to there's a white thing over there, not to go, a barrier, but you can also, but you can go to the road and you can go down 2 miles that way as far as you want.
Is it opening?
Yeah, just like here.
So what is this here? What are these
This is just like a restaurant. It's private. You're not allowed to go in. SpaceX only. They have events here sometimes, and Elon did an event here with the T-Mobile guy.
Today?
No, a couple months ago. Yeah. I think he's at Twitter right now, just getting that into since he bought it.
Actually,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
He's,
So how long has this been existing?
I think since 2000, 2001, something like that.
So he bought everything.
He bought everything. Yeah, everything is there's nothing there apparently.
Does he do any advertising to? Or he doesn't need to do that?
I don't know.
You're just a fellow that's interested in something like this.
He's.
I say you're
I'm just interested. Yeah, I got a YouTube channel, and I've been here since last year, March of last year.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, 2021. I've done like 1,000, 1,400
Do you have
videos.
a card?
I have a website, not a card. I can tell you something, yeah, I should make
No,
cards.
I'm saying so I can see your website.
Oh yeah, I can write it down or tell you.
would you-
Sure,
write
yeah,
it down
sure.
for me,
Okay.
'cause I like to.
Or I can tell you my phone number or something, or you can text me. Yeah.
I can't write it on these
Yeah,
cards.
you're right.
Give it to me because this is
Oh,
the best.
Let's see if I have anything. A 956. Oh, the website.
Yeah, the website.
Okay. Do you do YouTube at all?
Huh?
You do on YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm on YouTube. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I'm looking for a pen for it.
Hey, Rupert. Good to see you too. There's like 47 people watching as well. There's
Oh.
40. There's a bunch of people. Some chats and stuff. But we're live on YouTube right now. Okay.
Good.
If you'd like to be on YouTube or whatever, say anything, I'll give you the mic and you can
Okay.
speak into the mic.
What's your phone number?
956
956
338
338
8552.
8552. And what was your name?
Paul.
Paul?
Yes. Mamakos, if you want the last name.
E-A-U-L and your name?
M-A-M-A-K-O-S.
M-A-M-A-K-O-S.
Yeah, I'd be happy to chat with you anytime if you want to
Okay,
call
I
or
appreciate that.
text or whatever.
Can I have your email?
Yeah. Info at,
Oh, that word info?
yeah, I-N-F-O.
At?
Yeah. And I can tell you, Embryo Space. I have a couple emails, but E-M-B-R-Y-O, embryospace.com.
This is the one.
Yeah.
Info at, spell it please.
E-M,
E as in Emily?
yeah, E-M,
Mary?
yeah, Bravo, Romeo,
E. Oh, no.
E-M-B, like a human embryo, like a,
Yeah, I got A-M. B.
yeah, B-R-Y-O,
B-R-Y-O.
space.com,
Space.
S-P-A-C-E.
Oh, dot com.
Yeah. Check it. Let me check it. Embryo. Put the word space after the. There. Yeah. O.
A-O.
O, and then spell out S-P-A-C-E, like SpaceX, but S-P-A-C-E.
So what do I put?
The word S-P-A-C-E, space. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
S-P-A-C-E,
Yeah,
space.
.com. Yeah. embryo. Yeah, you got it.
Oh, that's
What's your name?
Nat.
Nat.
Tafoya.
Oh, Tapoya. Nice. Okay.
In fact, he started working today. My grandson.
Oh, awesome. Awesome.
We
Awesome.
brought him all the way over here from Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay.
That's his dad. So, hey, nice
Cool.
meeting you, Paul.
Yeah, Nat.
I'll look you up on this.
You will find me. Thank you. Okay, guys, that was a nice chat. I'm back with you. Let's see. Yeah, no toll free on that number, guys. His nephew works here. Just started today at SpaceX. Hey Mario, I'm doing okay. So we're continuing to get these stilts here on the left. If they get them all, they have to, after this one, there's going to be another 5 more to get. So I'll get a little different shot here of the SPMT. They have a number of them already. Let me zoom in a little bit. Let me set the camera down. There we go. Not sure how many of those stilts they're going to get, but they're getting them one by one. I'm going to set up the camera once more. Hi, QWERTY. Boca Chica is in Texas. It's Boca Chica, Texas, USA. Good question. Mike, the Boca Chica road is open today, but they have a bunch of white cones along the road that they put out late last night, early this morning. So, not sure they need a road closure to move this, but they did the work of putting the SPMTs under the 2 items that they'll be moving. And they don't necessarily need a road closure to move stuff down the road, especially in a non-active time of year right now with the mosquitoes at the beach. Even yesterday, a Sunday, I put a video out yesterday about it, but on a Sunday is usually the busiest day of the week for the people to go to the beach, and there was practically nobody at the beach yesterday. So it's just inhospitable as far as too many mosquitoes to enjoy the area. It's 11:05, so the time of there's another 45 minutes before they go to lunch. So It doesn't look like they're going to move this before lunch. The lunch would end at 12:30. It's currently 11:05 in the morning. So this has taken most of the morning, and they'll probably break at lunch and come back to it afterwards. Yeah, there's been some very high tide, says Mike Santiago. And yeah, the water was almost over the road here on Highway 4. Yep. I've got everything I need, so I may just stay here, and when lunchtime comes around, when lunchtime is over, I'll just start a new stream and see if they move it later in the afternoon. But I think I'll stay out instead of, I normally go to town for lunch, but I've got everything I need. I'm good. So I'll probably break over the next hour, and then I will pick it up at 12:30. 12:25, 12:30. Yeah, thanks, Tony. Mike says, are they still working on the spaceship? Last week they had a crane next to it. Yeah, they are. There was the crane is currently at the launch site next to the entryway, the main gate at the launch site, 2 miles down the road. This morning when I got to the site, last night it was attached to the Starship over there on pad B, but they moved it over to the main gate there. I think it was so that one, either this contraption that we're looking at or the other one behind it, I think this one will arrive first or the other one will arrive first, but either way they're going to lift this, they may lift this off the SBMT with that crane, or they'll lift the top, if not this piece, then the top of this piece with that crane by the main gate. This piece right over here is the top piece. Solange says, Paul, have you thought about launching your moon mission from our new spaceport in Cornwall, UK? I don't know what the deal is with launching out of a foreign spaceport. I know as a US space company, there are restrictions as far as having people from other countries work for your company as a space organization. So I don't know if the ITAR restrictions come into play when you're launching out of another location. That might be why SpaceX launched out of South Texas here rather than going to maybe the equator. Maybe they could launch more efficiently off Costa Rica, or possibly save some money by launching from Colombia. I know it would be difficult to transport the equipment down there, and they would have to get all the infrastructure down there. So it may be more difficult to build the item down there up there in the UK than to build it here as well. I'd love to visit sometime and check out the launch site. If I got an invitation, I would definitely put it at the top of the list as far as to check it out. So yeah, reach out to me if you work at the spaceport. Info at oceancam.space, OCEANCAM.space. There's some links here in the chat. Otherwise, in the description of this video, there's some links. Otherwise, we could collaborate on a mission. It doesn't have to all come out of the OceanCam or the Embryo Space efforts. We can have, just like the International Space Station was a collaboration of countries, so the OceanCam mission can be a collaboration. Maybe certain cameras made in this country, or some piece of the hardware was made in a different country. One of the interesting things I learned recently is that the International Space Station, although it was made by many countries, the Chinese are not allowed on the International Space Station, as far as I currently understand. I watched a video recently, and they said we have astronauts from many different countries on the International Space Station, but China is not one of those countries that has astronauts going to the ISS. And they also recently just launched their own space station, but I didn't know that until recently, about the no Chinese on the ISS. No Chinese astronauts. If you're from the USA and you're a Chinese individual, then that's fine. But if you're from China, if you're a Chinese citizen or astronaut, I think that's the current situation. Okay, SpaceX Studios says it's not that China is forbidden, it's just that China has never signed on as a partner in the ISS program. Okay, so it's kind of like if you didn't contribute to making the ISS, why would we let you on it? Maybe it's one of those things, huh? Give us some value and we'll let you on it, kind of thing. Interesting. Thanks, SpaceX Studios. I get a close-up shot of this while we got it. Kind of a still. These are the stilts. The can crusher is going to be sitting on top of this. So it's going to keep it higher up off the ground. Looks like we got 3 more after this one. 1, 2, 3, 4 more. We got 4 there. There's 4 more there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Tony says, I think the spaceport at Cornwall only has a license for horizontal launches with Virginia, but Scotland can launch vertically. You see, I think the spaceport at Cornwall only has a license for horizontal launches with Virgin Galactic, I guess. Virgin Galactic, huh? But Scotland can launch vertically. Okay, that's cool. Interesting. That's the Richard Branson Space Company. Scotland can launch. Awesome. Solange says that's true. Good stuff. Okay, Tony also says something to do with the airspace, maybe not enough airspace with all the plane traffic to do a safe vertical launch. Okay, well, you know, Virgin Galactic takes off horizontally as well. Is that one of the reasons why they can do it out of there but not other people? Because they launch off as a plane, and then when they get super high, they launch the rocket into a horizontal trajectory into the you know. Is that why they can do it out of there and no other space company? It's not so much a contract, but maybe just because they launch like a plane. I'm going to do about another couple minutes, and then I'm going to end the stream here. I'll pick up in about 20 or more minutes. Toward the top of this hour, I'll come out again and check out and see how it's going here. So I'll wrap it up in the next 2-3 minutes, and then it's 11:19. They'll probably break at 11:45. I'll go charge up the batteries here and eat something, and then be early, ready for whenever they finish lunchtime. Okay, Solange says that's why. Good stuff. Okay. All right, in the last 60 seconds, Solange says the rocket from Scotland is called the Orbex Prime, and it's 3D printed and uses biopropane as a fuel. Biopropane, Orbex Prime. I got to check out that company, Solange. Marjorie. So they're continuing to prepare for the transport of this can crusher. It's probably going to end up at the launch site sometime today, and we're 11:21 in the morning. Launch will start here at 11:45. They'll finish at 12:45. So I'll go get ready and maybe pick you up on the other side after lunch. Thanks for watching. They're going up to do more prep work on the top. There are four more of these stilts here on the left, and we'll see how it goes. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Paul Marcos. Thank you. Leaving you with a shot here at SpaceX build site, South Texas. Elon Musk planning to take us up there into space with these starships. Signing out in 20 seconds. Yep. All right, in 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep up the enthusiasm. See ya. Wish you the best wherever you end up in your life, and thanks for watching.